we're going to just chop it up a bit before we get started, and people see that we are on. I know that the show Monday was an epic show.
Oh yeah.
Uh, it was so epic that YouTube deemed it something that should not be allowed, even if it's private.
It's laughable, man. Right.
So, Brother Red Pill, I believe the what would be the Know the Ledger show got another strike along with Know the Ledge Media.
Yeah, they were. It was just the first channel, Know the Legend 444. We incurred a second strike, so that comes with a lot of restrictions, and I'm basically gonna have to shut that channel down for about 90 days so the strikes clear up because the third one to take me out.
Right, exactly. And we thought what we could do is make it private, and it being private would protect the channel. But
Right.
it appears that the information of someone reversing a disease was so crazy. And you know what's really weird? When you go on YouTube, there are people talking about cancer reversals,
Mm,
like all over YouTube.
right.
But when we talk about it, all of a sudden now it gets restricted. And hey, it is what it is, man. We know the perils of doing business on other people's platforms, and so
Right.
I have it set up, and I think what we can do now on Mondays, particularly with Red Pill. Well, I think what we'll have to do is that whenever we live stream on Mondays about health, immediately once it's live stream, it has to be deleted, right? It has to be deleted right away before YouTube gets to scan it. And then what happens is that all of Red Pill's listeners will just have to go to his Patreon
Hmm.
to well, he had it set up that way anyway, but we didn't know that making it private was not enough for these YouTube people,
Right.
right? So what we're gonna have to do is just delete it, and then I'll probably have to send the file to Red Pill, like Monday afternoons once everything is done. I guess what we're saying is so hardcore and revolutionary that they're not down for it. It is what it is. And like I said, for the listeners, I have live streaming available on herbalresults.net. So we will give that option too for people, particularly Red Pills listeners. Like if we really want to be really, really, really like run a tight ship about it, is that maybe we'll do the first 15 minutes, and then we just transition over to the Red Pill listeners can transition over to herbalresults.net and watch it from there, unfiltered, uncensored. And then if they want to see the show, later, they can go to Red Pill's Patreon. And I think that's the way we should do it. What do you think about that, Red Pill?
I like that idea. I definitely do. I do have another option, and that may be to run the show through my Connect to Your City and Yap It
Mm-hmm.
Live. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to my team right now,
Okay.
trying to yeah. We're just looking for some solutions in order to get this thing moving and whatnot. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, between time, I'm encouraging everyone to sign up to the Patreon. We don't want to be reactionary. The Patreon was always an option because we do bonus. We give everybody access to monthly workshops, and then it's just a wealth of knowledge and whatnot. And because the channel has never really been monetized, we don't shake cups at the end. We don't ask people for donations, and I just don't like that. So the best way to show appreciation and to show membership is to sign up to the Patreon. It's a Patreon first operation anyway. You know what I mean? We kind of strayed away from that, but it's always been a Patreon first since 2017. So we're just gonna really start pivoting more into that lane, and and incentivize everybody to make the move. You know what I mean? And give them the bonuses that come with that. Is there any way to take off this StreamYard ticker right here? I believe that might be
Yes,
on you.
I'm going to do that right now.
Yes.
Let's see. Live viewer comments gone. Let me make sure. Let me see what's going on here. All right, someone says they can't. Okay. Does everyone see that? You see that comment there?
Yeah, Haru can't
That is
see the
a
live on your page. Right?
yeah. Okay. Do you mean you can't see the live on my Facebook page? We'll look at that. And then why don't we do this, Red Pill? Can you put a link to your Patreon? And I just want people to get familiar with it. Can you put that in the chat section?
Yes, sir.
You know, that's just some housekeeping we want to do before we start the show, because we want to make sure that our people get this information. And we need people to develop habits to being able to get the information. I know that, you know, a habit people have is just going to YouTube. But again, we've said it and we've given people advance notice that YouTube is a platform that we do not control. So they are able to do whatever they want.
Yep.
You could say something they don't like and it becomes a problem and it takes down your YouTube channel. And this is what happens when you don't have site control. And so we're going to exhibit and show site control. You know, I don't want to necessarily have to talk about it every week, but I know that if you've developed an audience on a certain platform, people are used to that platform and hearing you on that platform. But I want to get people to have like a muscle memory around going to the sites that we control, particularly those who are aggregating, congregating on YouTube. And it even doesn't have to do with health. Brother Red Pill does programs frequently. At any moment, he could say something that YouTube doesn't like, whether it has to do with health or not. And we want to be able to protect his channel and protect his voice and his ability to speak to people by making sure that the people who are tuning into Red Pill get used to not tuning in on YouTube, right? Because now Red Pill has to watch what he says. If he says something that they don't like or whatever, or makes any comment about anybody, all of a sudden now it becomes a problem. So what I'm doing right now is I'm about to share with you all what the Patreon looks like. All right, so this is it here. I'm going to share the screen. This is Red Pill's Patreon. All right, this is what it looks like. I think everyone can see it. Yep, that's the Patreon, y'all. Get used to that if you want to get the show that's been recorded, because we go every Monday, we go every Wednesday, but Monday is more sensitive because we're talking about health. And I guess they don't want y'all to be healthy. So, and we're giving you receipts and we're giving you testimonials, and they don't want you all to hear that. So if you look at the Patreon, it says, you know, join for free. You know, you can see the posts and all of that. And as you can see, when you scroll down, he has the latest posts and recent posts. So you see Healthy Results Mondays, It's all there that you all can see. So people keep asking Red Pill, where can we get the health show? Where can we get the health show? It's there already. Okay. And there's people already liking it and commenting on it and what have you. So if you're a true fan of what Red Pill does, please go to patreon.com/CW/Red Pillar. That's what you all have to do, because we have to have control of this information. We're doing some legendary and historic things. We cannot allow any platforms to stop us from doing what we're doing and stop healing the people who need to be healed. Okay. And I'm going to, is there anything else you want to say about your Patreon, Red Pill, while I'm on there?
Best Patreon in the world.
Okay, great. So all they got to do is just hit join for free.
They have the option of joining for free all the way up to the top tier, which is Citrine. We have, you know, we name them after different stones. So we have the rainbow opal, the copper, the gold, the citrine. So
This
yeah,
is it
it
right
comes-
here, right?
yes, and there are different perks that come with different tiers of membership.
Okay, for $5 a month, you get exclusive daily posts and articles, behind the scenes footage of Red and Blue at events in the studio. Uh, Gold, $10 a month, you get exclusive daily posts and articles, behind the scenes footage of Red and Blue at events, exclusive videos, and bonus content. And I think that's probably where is this where our videos are going to be housed under the Gold membership? $10 a month?
Yes.
Yes, so that's where it's going to be. And then if you pay $44 a month, exclusive daily posts and articles, access to American Gods and Gods at War. It's a 4-part series, behind the scenes footage, exclusive PDF and videos. So even more exclusive videos. It might even be like we're doing question and answer sessions. That's when you would be able to tap into that for $40 a month. And then access to pay-per-view lectures on KTL University, other live streams of bonus content, and first look at new merch and new music. That's a great deal here, $44 a month. Anybody who's tuned into the health show knows that if you're getting 4 shows a month, because we're doing it every Monday, imagine that you're getting all that exclusive content and you're paying your $44 a month. Because some of the bigger topics will probably be under the $44 a month. And so Red Pill will organize it the way he sees fit. But for those of you all who are loyal listeners and tune in, you're paying for Netflix, you're paying for other subscriptions per month, and it makes sense to pay for this because it delivers more value to you than Netflix or any of these other places. It actually tells you how to move in your life to increase your health and your wealth in a very tangible way. So that's me just advising the people who are the fans of Red Pill and his work and what he does, and acknowledging that there is true, real value, kinetic knowledge value to what Brother Red Pill's doing. You might want to go ahead and do the $44 a month, because I think that the return on investment on that is probably going to be, well, definitely is going to be more than 10x a month. In other words, I believe that in terms of health, wealth, and all the other programs that Red Pill does, you're going to get a return of more than $440 a month in terms of value for paying that $44 a month. And I think that that is a great return on investment. Whereas if you're paying $25 a month for Netflix, are you making a $250 return on investment for your Netflix membership, or you just wasting time by dealing with imaginary entertainment scripts that other people wrote for you? Whereas with the registration to Red Pill and the $44 a month, he's teaching you how to write your own scripts, right? And this is real, like in terms of even the AI work that he's doing, where you can like make your own movies. Can you just talk about that a little bit, Red Pill? You there?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I was talking about the $44 a month
Yes.
membership and how people get a 10x return at least on their investment, where
Yeah, I
they're
heard that
learning.
part.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say was that, juxtapose that to a Netflix subscription of
Right.
$25 a month, where you aren't even getting any return on investment. You're just basically wasting time because you're drawn into people's scripts on their imaginary TV and movie shows. Whereas Red Pill's $44 a month included in that is teaching you AI, where you can actually write your own scripts in movies.
Right. It's
So
a
could you just talk
completely
about
different
that?
angle.
Yeah, could you
Right.
talk about that a
So
little bit?
we call it Netflix and kill instead of Netflix and chill.
Hmm.
Netflix is the franchise. Narcos is one of the scripted series that launched Netflix. Them celebrating the Narcos, celebrating Pablo Escobar, and then of course the documentaries where they push they push these agendas, and they promote serial killing. If people were to take a good look at the rise in crime, or the rise in certain genres of crime and whatnot, there was an uptick after they premiered Dahmer, right? They had a series called Dahmer where they basically romanticized Jeffrey Dahmer. And people began copycat killing based off of that. And Edward Casey was another documentary where they kind of romanticize these killers. So Netflix has an agenda. Netflix is not enlightening people. They're not educating people. Netflix is not considered to be a platform where they're adding value to your life. You know, they're telling you stories about stuff that you probably don't even need to know, true crime and whatnot. On the other end, what we're doing at Netflix and Imaginarium and what we do on the Patreon channel is that we are on the cusp of this new revolution to whereas the ball is now in the court of what they call the average user. We are on the cusp of a democratized industry where we have the power to make film. We didn't have that power ever throughout the whole entire time of Hollywood, the rise of Hollywood and the moving picture. The average person, the monopolies had, I mean, the studios had a monopoly on creativity and your imagination. Not only could we make movies now, we could make comics, cartoons, um, animations, and short films just utilizing a budget of about $500. So that is one of the greatest things that we have in our possession right now. And we teach that every Friday in Imaginarium. Every Saturday we have vibe coding sessions. You know, Tuesday, Techno Tuesdays. So we push that agenda. We push that. We let people know what tools are available. But the archives alone, Chicago Bitcoin Bully, Ra Aku, Spin City, you name it. There's so many people that we've brought to Patreon to do these monthly workshops. It's priceless, you know, and you know the information doesn't go out of style. The information is timeless. It doesn't get old. You could go back and watch something that we did in 2020 and pick up a lot of gems because 9 times out of 10, the information is so ahead of time that people are just catching up to it.
Absolutely, and I love how you got that name, Netflix.
Oh yeah, we
Um,
had to flip the Netflix.
yeah, yeah. And for those who don't know, Neter in ancient Kemetic or ancient Egyptian is deity. So, yeah, that's a nice flip of that word, Netflix into Netterflix. So, yeah, you can either watch Netflix or you can create your own movies by learning AI, cinematography, and movie making on the Patreon, on Red Pill's Patreon. So this is very important for you all to look at. So enough of that. I think that we got the message out there to people. Let's get into this money, y'all. Um, what we're going to do today is we will go over stocks. I've been getting a lot of questions. And for those who also missed Monday's show was phenomenal. It was, we had testimonial of a throat cancer reversal, and it was a live interview that I did on Sunday with someone who had contacted me through his father, who's a loyal listener to Sankofa Revolutionary Radio. And the story was profound, and I think that everyone should tune in. As a matter of fact, if you want to see it, Red Pill, you have it up yet on your Patreon? I don't know if you were able to get it up on your Patreon.
It's going up today.
Okay. Yeah, it's going up. And then those who are also interested, you can go to herbalresults.net. You could see it there. But I would advise everyone to watch that. I think that it was a monumental. Brother Anthony, would you just like to speak about Monday's show? And I know it's near and dear to you because it's Baba Man's song and his son. You just want to just shed a little light on that and how Sankofa Revolutionary Radio made that happen, because really, if it wasn't for Sankofa Revolutionary Radio, that link would have never been made.
Nah, man. A lot of Kazi, a lot of thanks, and a lot of love. Your Kazi, brother, is what we're talking about here. Your work. No, but Baba Mansang is a loyal listener. And what you don't know, and me not know about Baba Mansang, he's been on the front line since the 70s, man. With Community University with Dr. Bobby Wright up in Chicago. The brother has done tremendous work down in Florida as well. So I remember that call when his son called into the radio program, I think, was it? Or Baba Mansang may have talked about him, and he found contact with you, and the rest is history, man. Another great testimony of saving lives and limbs, and it's going to get worse. So, and by the way, we believe so much in the product that we have herbal results. Now, at least all of these extract on our page now for sale, and also the D3 supplement is on there as well. And so, hey, look, it's a lot. That's not the only one, though, brother. We've been doing these testimonies for a while. So, and you can go back. We may play the replay today, at some point in time. So tune in. You may get that replay, or you can go on one of these pages and view it, man.
Absolutely. And you do, and let's just talk about the replays that you do. When the show's broadcast at 9 a.m., it's rebroadcast at what time? And this is Eastern Standard Time, and then that's 8 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
talk about the rebroadcast times?
Yeah, repetitive. You know what they say about repetition. But look, we rebroadcast programs. This particular program will rebroadcast at 1 Eastern and 7, of course, p.m. Eastern time. Of course, you Central Zone. You know how that works. So we'll rebroadcast and rebroadcast them over the weekend as well. So yeah, we get it out there. We put it out there, man. So you get it.
Excellent. So yeah, we're making it really easy for people to access this information, no matter how difficult some of these platforms may make it. We're doing our best to make it as easy as possible for people to see what needs to be seen and hear what needs to be heard. And I think that we're creating a standard by having all of these testimonials. Now, pivoting to the show, topic for today, which is, wealth results, which we do every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Last week's show, we did have someone who was a subscriber to Heru Trades talk about the money that he's making on the trades where he's following my trades. And so those people who are interested in that, to go and access last week's show that Brother Red Pill would have on his Patreon, and just see the evidence that we're providing of people actually getting results in the field of health and wealth. So I think that's why people are loyally tuning into this show, because it's a different type of show. It's really teaching people how to make a difference in their lives, more than just static knowledge, but kinetic knowledge and kinetic information. All right.
Hey,
So,
Brother Heru, before you get into it,
yeah.
You had a conversation, and I did too, with Baba Amafika Geuka down in West Palm Beach. And he was telling me about, and I want you to talk about it a little bit. Let's see you smiling. Micron technology. I looked at that, Brother Red Pill, and that Micron technology. And just on Robinhood, just in March, man, March 30th this year, that stock was $321, brother. And now it's $812.
Yeah, I went through that, and what's really interesting is I actually had that on my desk.
Right.
So, and Baba Amafika did call me and said, "Hey, take a look at this and tell me what you think." And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all a live analysis.
Okay.
So when someone asks me what I think about something, I'm going to show you all what I actually do.
Good.
And I already have that. I didn't go deep into it, but I had it on my desk as something that I need to look at, because I had a list of stocks that I was made aware of that are exploding. And
Right.
We can go over the picks that I gave people that are basically wartime picks. And these wartime picks are strictly based on the fact that the United States has gone to war with Iran. And the question is, how do we position our lives not to be economic victims of these things, but actually people who are benefiting from these things? So when it comes to some of the stock picks that I did give people, let's just review some of those. And we did options as well. And actually, let me just do this. There are people who have been asking me, how can I learn more about stocks? How can I learn more about stock options and Forex and all of that? So I've done 3 videos that probably are going to be very important in you understanding these things. And these are all free videos that you can watch. And so what I'm going to do now is I don't know if I can post it in the Patreon. I'm going to give you all 3 videos. And so here's what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm able to post it. No, it says it won't let me post comments to some of the destinations. So here's what I'm going to do. Those of you who are interested, I'm going to post it on my Facebook page. So you just go to my Facebook page and go to the comments, and you're going to see all of my. I'm going to put in investment and trading videos. Okay, so this is going to be really easy. So even if you are on YouTube, just go to my Facebook. You will see this Facebook Live. You can go after the show, but I'm posting it right now. And number 1 is a step-by-step. It's entitled A Step-by-Step Approach as to How I Make Money in Stocks. I've posted it right now. It's there for you all to see. Let me see how Facebook is handling this. I want to make it so that everyone is able to see what needs to be seen. Okay, so probably I have to do 3 I have to do 1 each. So the first video is the first one you should watch is How I Make Money with Stocks, a Step-by-Step Approach. It's a YouTube video on my channel, and I'm going to post that in my Facebook. And what I may do is I may go on the Know the Ledger chat as well. And okay, that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is, for those of you all who are tuned in, okay, so I posted it, How I Make Money with Stocks. All right, so that's there. And I'm going to post that on WSYP as well, so that the WSYP listeners will be able to avail themselves. And the people who are on the WSYP Facebook Live, I'm posting it right now.
All right.
All right. So it's there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Know the Ledge Media live, and I'm going to post in there. So when you all see that post, when you see me make a post, it'll be in the chat. It's in the chat right now. You're going to see me making a post. All right, it's there. Okay, so if you are in that chat, you can just copy or click that if it's available, and you'll be able to see how I make money with stocks, a step-by-step approach. Then the second thing I'm going to post for you all is I'm going to post stock options explanation and account setup. Here's a video that I did. It was a Zoom video I did with several people showing them how to do this. Okay, how you can set up your Robinhood account to do stock options. And so that's number 2. And I'm going to be posting that right now. I'm posting that in Sankofa Revolutionary Radio's Facebook, and I'm posting it now in the chat of Know the Ledge Media on YouTube. So that's there right now. And then I'm going to post it on my personal Facebook page. So we're going to cover all the bases for people, so that people have the resources they need to get busy and really, really make this happen. Because, I mean, I'm getting flooded with a lot of phone calls, people offer me a lot of money to just do one-on-one trainings. I don't necessarily have the time for that, but I've done videos. So these videos live forever, and you're able to follow everything that I am doing, so that you're able to actually mimic my results. Okay, so that's there. So that's number 2. And number 3 is, the third video is me doing a live demonstration, which we did last week. But if you want to have it recorded, of how you can buy stock options in real time. It's me literally just doing it. And so I'm going to put it in the chat as well. For my Facebook, it's going to be in the chat now for Sankofa Revolutionary Radio. And it's all numbered. It goes 1, 2, 3, and there's going to be a fourth one. And then this is going to be also now on Know the Ledge Media YouTube channel. So that's up right now. Then I'm going to give you all the fourth one. So now we're going to really cover the basis. Forex code cracked. Okay, it's me showing you my approach to Forex and how I'm able to make money on Forex. So that's it right there. I've done these videos so that I don't have to sit down with people individually. It's very time consuming. All you have to do is just go to these videos and watch them. And you should probably do it in order, one by one. Okay, just do number 1 first, which is how you make money in stocks, which is a great overview of just investing in the first place. And then you're going to go to how you set up your account for stock options. And then you go into how you do a stock options trade. And finally, I show you how to trade Forex. And all of this is stuff that I'm doing where I'm doing trades in real time. And I'm showing you all the analysis. Okay. So it's all there for you now. Everyone has what they need. If you're watching Know the Ledge Media on YouTube, all those links are in the chat right now. If you're watching Facebook, whether it is WSYP, all those links are there now. And then, yep. And then if you're on my Facebook, personal Facebook, all that is there right now. So we've covered all the bases. So let's look at some of these investments and some of these positions that we've taken. Okay. And then we're going to go over some of these new stocks that we may want to take a look at. All right. And then I'll give you an analysis of how. So let's just go over all of us know that the price of oil will be going up, right? Because we don't expect the United States to pull out of any type of war. Okay. So what we're going to do is let's look at one of the positions that I told you all about. It's called the United States Oil Fund. Let's see how that's been doing over the last week, right? Because we like to really account for our time. So if we came on last week talking about something, let's just check out how it's doing this week. So I'm going to share the Robinhood. And hold on 1 second. I want to make sure. Okay, that's looking good. So let's share Robinhood as to what this looks like. Okay, let's do that. All right, here we go. So when we go into, someone says no links showing for Heru. You all aren't seeing any links on the YouTube? Let me see. Yeah, I posted them. You all aren't seeing it? Huh. No link showing for Heru. They say they don't see any links in the chat. Wow. I wonder if it's YouTube doing that. YouTube, because my channel has some issues with them blocking me. Let me use another account. Okay. So I'm going to use another YouTube account. All right. Yeah. I see that you don't see the links. All right. I think it was YouTube preventing that. Wow. So when they've got a problem with you, just for you all to know, when YouTube got a problem with you, in your account, what they're doing is they are literally preventing me from even making comments on YouTube lives. Very interesting, because they're upset with the work that we're doing at Herbal Results in reversing illnesses. And
they're definitely monitoring it. They're on my page with the same thing, my brother. Nothing.
Yeah. So here we go. I just posted it with the new user account. Let me know if you all are able to see the comment on Know the Ledge. Media. I just posted that. So you all can let me know, and then we can get started with the analysis. I know a lot of people waiting for the analysis. I know on Facebook you can see all of the links, but folks on Know the Ledge Media, I just posted one of them with a different account, YouTube account. Please let me know if you're able to see the link that I just posted. Still nothing.
You can't see the live chats, man.
Huh. So you all aren't able to see the live chat that I'm posting on YouTube. That is interesting. Because the last one we say, like you said, someone said, like you said, blocking. Yeah, that's fascinating. So those of you, my Facebook is my name, Heru Ofori Atta. My name is right there, and the links are on definitely my Facebook. So you might have to just go there to get those links. All right, in the chat, it's in the comment section. But this is very interesting. I did not know that YouTube is literally my Facebook is. Someone's asking what's my Facebook. My Facebook, y'all, is my name. Just search my name. You see my name under my image here, and you can go ahead and get that information. So it's there, okay? And if for some reason you're not able to, you can email me at info@herutrades.com, and I will send you the links on an email, okay? So you can go ahead and do that. But I want to make sure that you all are able to get these resources, man, because these are all training videos, step-by-step, stock options, Forex, and all of that. And I'm actually quite surprised that even though I've changed or maybe in the chat, they're not allowing links in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'll do? This is what I'm going to do. Red Pill, I am going to email you the links, and then you can post the links.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to email it right now to you.
Yeah, add me as a CC on that as well.
Yep, I'm gonna do it right now for y'all. So now you all can post it yourselves, and you don't have to worry about me posting. And then Red Pill can, manage that how he wants. So Know the Ledge. We're gonna get started, y'all, but this was important because having this information once and for all is going to allow you to be free, and you won't, need to ask me questions because I've answered all the questions in the video. Okay, and it's just now it's up to you to do your due diligence and invest some of your time into this. And we are doing okay. And I'm about to videos, instructional investment videos, instructional trading and investment videos. That's the title of the email. And my brothers, you should have that email now with all of the links. Okay. So now Red Pill can post the links as the administrator of his YouTube. Brother Anthony Muhammad can post it wherever he wants, and then we should be good from there. Okay. Okay. Someone says they can see the links on the Facebook, can't access them. Yeah. So Facebook doesn't allow hyperlinks anymore on comments, it looks like. So what you have to do is just copy it and then paste it. Okay. And then if you're having a real problem, you're just going to hit me up at info@herutrades.com and just send me an email, and then I'll give you, everything that you need in the email. All right. So let's get into this. Analysis. So let's look at some of these oil positions that we got and how we're doing. Okay. So we've got U.S. oil. Remember, the whole point of this is that we are definitely not going to be victims of what these politicians decide to do. So we're going to be focused on kinetic knowledge. So if we look at, are you all able to see United States Oil Fund here?
Yes, we got it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is one of the positions I told people about.
Yep.
Where are we with it? Okay. 1 week, it has given us 1.7% on our money. We've already beat Bank of America in 1 week, where Bank of America gives you 0.01% for the year. In the last week, we've grown our money with this with 1.7%. Okay. But in the last month, we've grown our money by 13%. And we've been in this for about 3 months. So we've grown our money by 68% by just buying United States Oil Fund stocks and just putting the money in there. We've made 88%, damn near double our money in 3 months. Where else are you going to get that type of money? Okay, in 3 months. And then the options, we've got options. And so we've got options in place, and the options are doing very well. Like I said, I'm going to give you all transparency. There's 4 option strategies that I have. Let's look to see how they may be doing. This one is up 31% total return. Okay, so I've made 31% on my money, and I bought this in March. So within 2 months, I made 31% on my money, which is, I think, 0.01%. It is, let's just do the math. We're going to do the math as to how much better I did than Bank of America. So you all see this 31% that I've made on this. So let's compare it. And you know I like to pull out the calculator. So we're going to look at the calculator, and what we've got is 31% versus 0.01. So you're just going to do some quick division, right? And so let me share that screen so you all can, and you know, I get a lot of messages that people love it when I do the math because it puts things in perspectives, right? People can argue over words, but it's hard to argue over numbers, right? So let's look at taking this down. We're going to take this off, and we're going to share. We're going to share the calculator. And you're going to see this every week. We're going to be pulling up the calculator. Okay. There's no talk about money, finance, or anything, investment, without having a calculator in front of us. So I made 31% in the last 3 months off of an option. 31 divided, let me make sure that you all are able to see. You can see this on the screen? Yes. Okay. 31 divided by 0.01. So 0.01, but it's not actually 0.01. It's only been 3 months, so it'd be 0.01 divided by, so let's do this. It's going to be 0.01 divided by 4 because it's 1/4 of a month, which is 3 months, right? So this is the money you'd have gotten from Bank of America. So it's 0.01% divided by 4 because it's 3 months. So it'd be 0.0025. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to divide 31, which is the percentages I've gotten in the last 3 months on this stock option, with really 2 months. But it's actually, let's do 2 months because it's been 2 months. So let's just be accurate. 2 months is 1/6 of a year. Okay, so we're going to do 1 divided by 6 equals 0.11. Okay, 0.166. Okay, so 0.166 times 0.01. 0.01. And really what I could do is just do it, since it's 1/6, I could just do it divided by 6. So you could just do 0.01 divided by 6 one time. Let's just do that. Just make it easier for people to understand, because 1/6 of a year. So 0.01 divided by 6. This is the amount of interest, 0.0016, is what I would have gotten from a Bank of America. And that's percent, by the way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take 31 and divide it by 0.0016. Let's just round it to 17, okay? That's 2 zeros and then a 17. So let's do that. We're going to take the 31% divided by, 31% divided by 0.0017. Let's even give them the benefit of the doubt and round it up. Okay. What this represents is, do you all see this number, 18,000?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay. What this represents is the multiple of improvement that we have doing this as opposed to keeping the money in a Bank of America account. So, other words, this is 18,000 times more powerful with this investment compared to keeping your money in Bank of America. I've made 18,000 times more money doing this as opposed to putting my money in a Bank of America account for those 2 months. Wouldn't you want to participate 18,000 times greater growth? See, this is why we do this show, for people to see these numbers. Let me just stop right there. Brother Red Pill, Brother Anthony Muhammad, how do you all feel about seeing this number?
It's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. And this is why the rich keep getting rich, is because if you kept your money in the Bank of America for the last 2 months and did not get an oil option, the person who got the oil option literally is 18,000 times more richer than you in the last 2 months. This is what these numbers represent. And I need people to understand why this, like, the lack of knowledge is what's keeping people struggling. So they tell you, and this is why you never really want to listen to mainstream media or just mainstream society, because you're going to end up getting average and below average results and be below average in terms of your performance, whether it comes to health or wealth. And I'm showing you all the numbers. If you kept your money in a Bank of America account, the amount of money that you would have made in a savings account would be 18,000 times less than if you'd just learn how to do a stock option. You know, and we've got a comment, that's crazy. Yeah. JD to the Elohim, you're absolutely right. That's crazy. But people don't, bust out these numbers, so people don't know what's really happening. So you just fall asleep every day, go to work every day, and you don't realize that there is no return on investment of time for the money, for your money to work, because your money is not really working in a bank. Okay? So this is really serious. Okay. So yes, 31% is 0.31 times your money. And what you have to do is, when you're looking at, remember, we're looking at 0.01%. So Alberto Samuel says 31% is 0.31. So that's 0.31 on your money. Remember, when we're talking about 0.01 for the banks, it's actually 0.01%, which is 0.0001 multiplied by your money. But if we're going to do apples to apples, I've got a 31% increase in my money with the USO trade, and you've had a 0.01% increase. So you have to do 31 divided by 0.01. But since it's actually 31% over 2 months, you have to then align the Bank of America percentage to 2 months, which is 1/6 of a year, because they give you 0.01% after 12 months. So if you take 1/6 of the 0.01%, that's what the number was, which was the 0.00017. And that's what I did the division with. And you end up getting that 18,235. So basically, I made 18,000 times more of my money by not going the Bank of America route and actually doing a stock option. Okay? So this is real serious, but for people to understand the math. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to stop sharing this calculator, and we're going to get more into these picks and to see how they're doing. So You all saw the option there. Let's go to some of these other options that I do have on this particular. So that was one option. I did 4 options on this, and they're all looking like they're around total return 29, 30%, and these are off of the last 2 months. Okay. And let me just go through the other one, and I'm going to start sharing the screen again. Just today on one of these options, so let me share the screen. Just today on one of these options, we were able to make, let's see. All right, let's share this screen again. Okay, so I have an option call, a $200 option call that expires on June 2027. So it's a year out, more than a year out. And right now we're up 48%. You all can see that right here, up 48%. And today we're up 5.9%. So we've outperformed Bank of America by a lot in just one day. They give you 0.01% for the year. We just made 6% on our money for the day. Okay, and the day is not even over. The markets just opened. Let's go to, you're going to see the same thing with BNO, which is the United States Brent Oil Fund, which is another pick that we made. So when we look at the options, so let's look at the last 3 months. The last 3 months, this stock is up 78%, very similar to the USO, 17% for the last month. Okay. And if we go into the options, let me just pick 2 of these options. We go to the options, we're going to see similar numbers in terms of, oh, actually, this is quite different. Does everyone see this? My total return on this, I've already doubled my money, 112%. Okay, that expires in January, but I've already doubled my money. You always want to look at total return. I've doubled my money 112%. Okay, so that was an option that I got April 16th. Less than a month ago, I've doubled my money. Does everyone see that? It's confirmed. I hate that I'm showing you all the actual return money, but whatever. I got to give you all receipts. So that's 112%. All right. So BNO is actually doing better than USO in terms of my trade. And then I've got another option here. Let's see how that's doing. Just today, it's up 1.4%, and we're up 39% in terms of total. Okay, so you all are seeing that, yeah, it's up. It's making money. Now, the other pick that I gave you all was ECVT, which is the sulfur trade, right? The sulfuric acid, because Straits of Hormuz, there's a shortage of sulfuric acid in the world right now. So I picked the sulfuric acid company, because if there is a supply shortage, the price will go up. And Ecovyst doesn't use any sulfur from the refining of any of the refineries in the Gulf. So that's why I made that pick. And so when we look at Ecovyst, in the last week, Ecovyst has been up 1.3% in the last month. It's been up 3% in the last 3 months. It's been up 27%. And the options are looking good. So totally, my total return on all my options is 57.8%. Okay. So this is what it's looking like. Okay. And I want people to understand that, like, we picked these 2 months ago, and those who decided to hop on it have made money. And we're looking at 30% to double your money that people have already made. And if you're a subscriber, Heru Trades, you get my picks immediately once I actually make the trades. When I mean immediately, you get a push notification on your phone. That's how immediate it is, right? So with ECVT, we've literally made about 150% on our money. BNO, we've made 112% on our money. And USO, we've made 53% cumulatively on our money with 48% as well. And so this is very important. Okay. And I have other options going on as well. I have some NVIDIA options. All those are coming alive. But what we want to do is we want to talk about some of the new stuff that I may be looking at. So those of you all who are really into this, some of the new stocks that I've been made aware of. How am I made aware of new stocks? So this is going to be an important conversation for you all. What I'm doing is I'm just giving you all every single thing that I do. If you can just mimic my results, okay? All right. So what I do is this: is that what some of you all may not be aware of is that the social media platform X is a gold mine of information. Why is that? It differs from Facebook and it differs from other places because on X, you have real movers and shakers on there, like people who are leaders of industry who are making posts all the time. And you have presidents of countries and ministers of finance, and they're on X, they're making posts. So it's like having meetings with these people. You get to I follow different presidents from different countries. So I'm able to get news right away. And I follow people from different countries. So I'm able to get like firsthand news. A lot of news that I see on X gets reported in mainstream media maybe a week later. And that also goes for financial news. So what I would tell people to do is that if you're really interested in getting a jump on people, what you do is you get an X account and then you curate your X account to movers and shakers in the fields that you're interested in. So I follow engineers because I'm interested in engineering and science. So I follow like real engineers, like civil engineers, mechanical engineers, and I listen to their conversations and I read their conversations and their back and forths. I see their posts. I follow bankers. I follow people in the finance world. I follow Bitcoin billionaires, Bitcoin millionaires, stock option millionaires. I follow them. And so my feeds is quite different than the average person's feeds. Also, Facebook is not a place where you're going to get great information. Facebook is like, old friends and this and that. And, your friends didn't have to really accomplish anything to see their posts. So a lot of Facebook posts are just kind of like pop culture conversations, and it's not very useful for growth. But it's just for friends, right? Really, Facebook. It's for friends and people, average everyday life. On X, I don't use X to post. I use X to follow people. And these are like high-level movers and shakers. And so when you start seeing like who's actually productive and who's doing what, that's what comes on your feed. So every morning I can go on and see who's talking about what. So when it comes to the financial industry, let's talk about what I'm seeing recently in terms of the conversation. So I'm going to give you all 2 people you can follow in their stock calls. And what I've done is I've archived it. And I was able to look at some of these calls. Okay. So what you want to do on X, if you don't have an X account, go ahead and get an X account. It would be important if you want to be on top of everything and be ahead of everybody. So check this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 2 accounts that I follow, that I archived, and then we're going to look at some of their picks. So one of them, if everyone can see this, would be Mike Investing.
Yeah, you can see it.
You can see it? You want to follow Mike Investing. Okay? And we're going to go over Mike Investing's picks. This is his post from May 9th. Okay? And then the other account that you want to follow is, where are we at? This guy right here. Ask Livermore. Okay? I've just given you all like, just this is going to change your lives. These people are on top of it. They're basically scanning the charts and looking at news, and they're making investments. They're active investors and traders. And so let's just look at what Mike Investing says. Mike Investing says on May 9th, the NVIDIA CEO, which is Henson Jung or Jang, something like that, he says that he's been telling you what to buy. Okay? So let's look at what he called out. He says that Jensen called out these 4 stocks. And let's just see. He says this one is up 840% in the last year. This one is up. APLD is up 1,400% in the last year, this is 9.4x and this is 15x. This right here is 2.3x, and then this is 8.7x. Okay. So anytime that you see a percentage, what you do is you just add something to the tens. You add another number up. So 840x becomes 8.5x. Okay, because 100x becomes 2x. So no, actually, I'm sorry. This becomes 9.4x. Okay, so let's look at these different charts. We have NBIS, we have APLD, and I'm going to now have you all look at the charts and confirm if what this guy is saying is true. So I'm going to share this tab now. NBIS. Okay, so we've got NBIS. We've got this guy saying that NBIS is up 840% in the past year. Let's confirm that. So we're on Robinhood, NBIS. Just today, it's gone up 10%. That's crazy. Just today.
Wow.
Last week, okay, in 1 week, it's 12%. In 1 month, it's 23%. 3 months, it's 121% in 3 months. So you'd have more than doubled your money just on a regular stock. This isn't even an option, y'all. Options, you get more money, but just buying the stock and putting your money there. So in other words, if you put $1,000 in this 3 months ago, you would now have $2,200. Okay. If you had $10,000 in this, you would have $22,000. Okay. You see how it works? So let's go 1 year. So in 1 year, it's actually 496%. So you'd have made 6 times your money with this. Okay, let's look at 5 years. Okay, so it's just starting to take off. Okay, so I've confirmed there's actually 496% in the last year. Okay, and that's really good. You're making 6 times your money just keeping it there, and it keeps rising. You see it's going up now. It's at $200 now. So this is a really important number, this 1 year. Let's now look at another pick by Mike Investing. He said APLD. Well, first of all, what is NBIS is? Let's find out who they are. They're a technology company that provides infrastructure services to AI builders worldwide. This is right up Red Pill's alley. You looking at this, Red Pill? So what's happening is that as Red Pill is doing these courses and these classes of showing people how to use AI effectively, this is the company that is benefiting off of the AI explosion, AI growth, and we're able to confirm by its growth of
Right.
damn near 500%, which is 6x for the last year. So this is very important. So as you start learning more about AI, you start learning the companies that become relevant. And this is what they say.
Right. AMD, NVIDIA.
Yep. And this is actually, now, here's what's interesting about what Mike Invest said. I want y'all to pay attention carefully to what he said. Mike Invest is not saying these are his picks. He's saying that these are the picks that the NVIDIA CEO has told people that they are investing in these companies. Do you see how it works? So he just paid attention to what the NVIDIA CEO said, and you just invest in it. Because NVIDIA is the #1 company in the world, and they're building the hardware for AI. So these are the companies that the NVIDIA CEO, who's basically an insider, is telling you to look out for. And Mike Investing is just telling you about what Jensen, who's the CEO of NVIDIA, said. Look at it. Okay, let's go to APLD now. Let's see how APLD did in the last year. APLD, Applied Digital. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to treat these stocks and what I'm going to do with them. So in the last year, so this is APLD, Applied Digital. The stock price is still low at $43. That represents a great opportunity. In the last week, it was up 3.9%. It's 4% now. In the last month, it's up 43%. 3 months, 20%. Year to date, which means from the beginning of the year, January to now, is 71%. But a year ago today, wow. Do y'all see that?
Yeah.
A year ago today, if you'd invested a year ago today in Applied
Right.
Digital, you'd have made 8 times your money.
Nah, we can't see it.
You
Yeah,
can't see this?
I can see it.
I see the screen where it says all bookmarks.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let me stop sharing that. And let's share. Okay. I'm glad you called that out. Let's do this right. I need people to see this. So thank you for alerting us on that. All right. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is Applied Digital now, y'all. See it? The past year, it just said 700%, then it went down to 699%. It's just 700%, which is an 8x return. Which means, literally, if you put your money in this 1 year ago today, you would have 8 times your money. So $1,000 now becomes $8,000, and 10,000 becomes $80,000. 100,000 becomes $800,000. Look at it. Okay, and what does Applied Digital do? They're a technology company. They engage in the provision, development, operation of data centers. That's AI stuff. Needs data centers. So this is part of the infrastructure of AI. Okay? They're in Dallas, Texas. And they're a data center hosting business. Okay? If you invested in them, when the CEO of NVIDIA was talking about it, and this is why when you're on first class, you see people reading the Wall Street Journal. But when you're on an airplane, people in first class are reading the Wall Street Journal. And when you're riding economy, people are on their phones playing video games. Okay? This is the difference, because these people are trying to get the inside scoop and the inside news to increase their wealth. Habits have consequences. Okay? So there are people who knew about Applied Digital because they listen and watch what the CEO of NVIDIA says, and they go ahead and invest. And they've made 8 times their money. So $100,000 that someone put in, just leaving it there and going to sleep for a year, literally hibernating for a year like a bear and just waking up, they would have 8 times their money. $100,000 would now be $800,000. Okay? So, the question people say is, how do we find these stocks? How do we pick these stocks? I'm showing you. You have to follow the right people on X particularly, and they give away the game. Okay? That's Mike Investing. So
if you go back, Brother Heru, to all bookmarks, case on your point, if you go back to all bookmarks, you see where Mike Investing, if you go back in 2025, called out, I think Jensen called out MBIS and APLD and TSM. And another one that comes up again with Baba G told us about is MU.
Oh yeah, I'm about to go through that, and he has it. Mike Invest has it.
Mike Investment has it. Yeah.
Yep, he has it. And so when Baba G called me 2 days ago, I had seen MU, but I had not done an analysis on MU, and I saw it through Mike Invest.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So now let's go. TSM is up 135, but let's just move forward to MU, which is up 770%. Okay. TSM is Taiwan Semiconductor, okay? Which I actually have a put option on because I felt like the Straits of Hormuz and the energy issue, which they get a lot of their energy through natural gas and oil from the Straits of Hormuz, was going to take down their business. So I actually have a put option on them right now, and I'll have to check to see how that put option is doing. But let's go to MU. Okay, MU is right here. Let's share that tab instead. Are you all able to see where it says United States Oil Fund?
Yeah, we do see that.
All right, let's do MU. Micron Technology. Micron Technology today is up 3%. You already beat back Bank of America, just waking up.
Just waking up, right?
16% for the past week. 81% for the past month. You damn near doubled your money.
Right.
In 1 month. 3 months is 95%. Year to date, 167% since January. And yep, 8.5x your money in 1 year with Micron Technology. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop there right now. And the question is, okay, should I buy this stock right now?
That's what we need to know. Yeah.
Yep. Now, since you're buying a stock, you can buy the stock because with the stock, there's no time limit on it expiring as it would with options.
Right.
So with options, you want to have a good entry point, and you want to enter at the low point with an option so that you can get the appreciating growth. However, with a stock that you're going to sit on for the next 5 years, it really doesn't matter when you get in. Is you really just want to get in when you can get in, because you know that you're going to sit on it 5 years and it's just going to fluctuate up and down. Okay, so you could just put some money in. Literally, this is how you would buy the order. You just go buy order, type buy order, and you would put in how much you want to buy in dollars. Let's say I want to buy $10 of this stock, which I can do right now. I'm going to show you all right now. $10. You go review order. You go to review order, and it says that I'm buying $10 of it. And remember, you don't have to be wealthy to buy stocks. I'm just proving it to you all right now. I'm showing you all that you can buy this stock for $10, and I'm just buying it right now live for you. This is buying the stock. This is not a stock option. Right. So buy. Done. I now own $10 worth of this company, and I will appreciate the value times $10 by how much it grows from today. Okay? That's it. This is how you buy a stock. I just showed you all how to do it. Okay? Done. I just did $10. The reason why I did $10 is I want to evaluate where it's at in terms of the charts. Now, let me go to the charts because I would like to do options on all of these, because if it goes up 800% with the stock price, it'll go up 8,000% with the option. Right. So I like to make more money by using options. Okay. So let's look at the MU chart and how I analyze the chart. So we go to, we go to the chart. This is MU. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the 3 month, and the interval should be the daily. Or we can even look at the weekly interval. And let me just tell you all what I'm looking for. Okay, let me make this a little smaller. Okay, here's what I'm looking for, y'all. I'm looking to catch it at the low points, which would be here, here on the weekly. It's on the high point right here. Remember, first principles thinking whenever you're buying anything is you want to buy low, sell high. This is high right now. So I don't want to get an option right now because it's already high. I want to catch it here. So when you catch it at the low.
Are you showing that on your screen?
Oh, sorry. Can you all see it?
See it. Yes, sir.
You see it now?
Yep.
Yes. Thank you for chiming, because I'm talking and people didn't even know what I was saying. All right. You all see it now. Okay. This is very simple. So what I did was I look at what you call Robinhood Legend, which is the charts, and I look at the RSI and the stochastic oscillator. And what you want to do is always you want to buy low, sell high. Well, the low is here, the low is here. And this is the weekly view. So all of these candles represent 1 week, right? So what I'm doing is I want to catch it at the low, which would have been here. So if I would have caught it here, I would have gotten all this appreciation going up here, which means that the best time to have entered this trade was really at this low here or here, which was actually March 23rd. We just missed it.
Yep.
This is when I should have entered this trade because it just went up from there. Because remember,
it blew up. So is that MU? MU?
Yes, this is the bounce. I'm always looking to catch the bounce at the bottom. I look at the weekly, then I look at the daily. So let's look at the daily. The daily, this was the low. You see the low here?
Oh yeah.
These are the lows. I should have entered this stock option here.
Right.
On March 31st was the best day to enter this.
Right.
Right there. Now it's on the high. It's too high. And remember, this goes against first principles thinking. You want to buy low, sell high. So I am not going to buy high. I'm always waiting for the low to happen. So I'm just telling you all how I think about this. The next time, and it will happen, the next time that MU hits a low, and I'll see it because this will be coming out of this blue band, and you'll see it down here. See that it hit the value of 8.9. Every time it hits these values, it goes up 9. So I have to wait for this. Right now, it's at 95. Okay, I want it to go back to 9 or 10 on the stochastic oscillator, or go down, and also go down to 20 on the RSI. Once I see these numbers get hit again, I'm going hard on options with this. In the meantime, between time, I can just buy the stock and just sit and wait, because it can keep going up for some time and I can get that appreciation. And I know that this is going to be a net upward movement. So you can buy the stock and just sit on it. But the best time to buy the stock was here at the low. Mm-hmm. But because we're going to be holding on to this for 5 years, anytime you're buying a stock, it is not a short-term investment. You're looking to hold on to it for at least 5 years. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because when you start getting the 5-year appreciation of these companies that took off, you start getting into the 10Xs, the 20Xs. We've seen that in the previous shows. Okay? So with MU, you can buy the stock and just hold it for 5 years. And I guarantee you, you're going to make money. Okay? And I don't want to use the word guarantee but 9 times out of 10, you're going to make money, and you're going to make big money. Just literally just putting your money into that and just holding it. Just holding it there. Okay? But I'm looking to get an option because I'm looking to have parabolic growth on my money. Option makes me 5 to 10 times more money than buying the stock. Okay? So I'm looking for this type of look on the chart. Until I see it, I'll wait to buy an option. Okay? And that's how I do what I do, y'all. And this is why I get the type of results that I get. So, what I'll do is I'll look at some of the questions that some people are asking, because we're actually over the hour right now. And we usually, okay. So what I want to do now is, I think there's some, yes, this is the key. This is the key. So this person, Test Baby, exactly, you've gotten it. You want to see, so you want to see, this is what you want to see. She said double bottoms. Yes, you want to see a bottom on the RSI, you want to see a bottom on the stochastic oscillator. Okay, and it's actually quadruple. So what do I mean by quadruple? If you really, really want to do well with options or even stocks, or anything that you're doing in the trading for, I'm just giving you all the secret sauce. You want to quadruple bottoms. What do I mean by that? This is the best case scenario. You want to go to the weekly, and see a bottom on the RSI and the stochastic, and then you want to go to the daily of that same chart and see the bottom on the RSI and the stochastic. If you see a bottom on the weekly on both indicators, which is a double bottom, and then you see a bottom on the daily of both indicators, you jump in. That's the quadruple bottom. Daily bottom 2 times, RSI stochastic, weekly bottom, RSI stochastic. You get into that trade, it just goes up from there because you bought low. Remember, first principles thinking. The first principles thinking is just asking you to do 2 things with any problem set, whether it be scientific, engineering, financial, relationship. What are the immutable truths, the unerasable, immovable truths of a particular phenomenon? And that's your playing field. And then what is the limiting factor? So we know that the immutable truths to anything in commerce or finance is buy low, sell high. So all you got to do is identify the low. Where's the low? When I find the low, that's when I buy. When I get the high, that's when I sell. Okay? Buy low, sell high. It applies to all forms of economics, whether it's socialism, capitalism, anarcho-capitalism, any other mercantilism, any ideology, marketplace politics. You go to the marketplace in Africa, you want to buy low, right? You go and you want to get your fruits and vegetables, and the market women are negotiating with you. They want to sell high and you want to buy low, and that's where the negotiations go. But you always want to buy low. And that applies to stocks, that applies to Forex, that applies to everything. And if you just get this in your head and you understand that, you have the greatest chance for being successful. I just gave you all probably the holy grail to the philosophical and psychological understanding of trading. First principles thinking always allows you to outperform everyone else who's not using it. Buy low, sell high. The only question is, how do we identify the lows? I just showed you. Stochastic and the RSI, use the daily time frame and the weekly time frame. Anything lower is too volatile. And volatility takes away from our predictability. Remember, the greatest limiting factor, remember, first principles thinking, I'm going to say this to you all. First principles thinking tells you to ask 2 questions and 2 questions only. If it's an engineering, science problem, a health problem, number 1, what is the immutable truths? And 2, what is the greatest limiting factors? And if you identify the immutable truths and you identify the greatest limiting factors, you won. And you fix that problem, you won. So let's just look at finance and economics. Immutable truth of finance and economics, buy low, sell high. It doesn't change. What is the greatest limiting factor to investing? The lack of predictability. In other words, if we had 100% correctness on predicting the future, we would be the best investors possible because we would have 100%. We solve that limiting factor, predictability. Well, because none of us can see the future like that, and anyone who says that they can, I'd like to talk to you because I've got some trades I'd like to ask you about. That's what, I meet people out there because in our communities, I meet all types of people say, oh, I have intuition, I can see the future. And so I say, oh, you can see the future? Pick some stocks for me and let's see how they do. And then it's crickets, right? So that's not how it works. Okay, well, I'm interested in that type of workability of seeing the future, right? Other than that, you're just talking. So anyway, what predicts you from seeing the future when it comes to the charts, when it comes to stocks, Forex? Volatility. Volatility is the limiting factor in predictability. We want the most predictability possible. So that means we want the least volatility. Volatility is a wild card, which means it hampers and hinders your predictive powers or your predictive values. So you want the least volatility possible. Then the question you would ask is, okay, If I have to have the highest predictability, I need the least volatility. Which charts have the least volatility or the most volatility? The ones that have the most volatility are the smaller time frames, the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 30 minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour. Those are too volatile. They're too unpredictable. Therefore, you're violating first principles thinking. You never trade on the smaller time frames. Like, this is important for people to really, really understand. You use the bigger time frames because if you want to know what's going on in a forest, you want the big bird's eye view instead of looking at the ground on the forest, right? The bigger time frames allow you a bigger bird's eye view of the forest, which is the, you know, the particular stock or whatever you're looking at, Forex pairs or whatever. You have to use the bigger time frames. And I'm going to tell you all this for those of you all who are trading. The people who have taught us trading, 99% of people lose money when it comes to trading because they're using too small time frames. They have too much volatility. And I don't know if they're doing it on purpose when they're teaching you this stuff, because you could take Forex classes and they're trading off of the 1 hour and 30 minute and 5 and 15 minute charts. And this is why 99% of people lose money in Forex, because the people who are teaching you aren't teaching you correctly. You should be using the 1 week and the 1 day charts, or even the monthly, because it gives you the bigger picture of the forest. Everything else is white noise. Any time frame below that is white noise, and you're dealing with volatility and you're looking at one tree and not able to see the whole forest. Okay, so this is very important for you all to understand on a philosophical and psychological and a scientific point of view, is that you've got to use the bigger time frames if you're going to be dealing with trading. Investing, not so important. However, if you're going to get into an investment, you want to get in on the bottom, you know? So what I'm going to do is probably just stop there, and we're going to see if there's any questions that I can answer, and then we'll call it a day.
You gonna go to questions?
Yeah, we can go to some questions. You see some questions on there, Red Pill?
Somebody asks, do you use the I don't know how to pronounce that, but do you use certain
No.
signals?
No, I do not use Ichimoku signals. I only use the RSI, and I use the stochastic. That's what I use. I try to make it simple, and I use EMAs, right? So for instance, I'll show people on the Forex charts. So I'll show you my silver trade, right? I'll show you my oil trade on Forex as well, and just show you what my setup looks like. So, all right, on my Forex, which I use Hugo's Way, if you all know. Can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is silver. Now, I prefer trading silver over gold. The reason is you make more money with silver, and silver is less volatile than gold. And when it rises quicker and gives you more money. Heavy metals tend to follow each other in terms of going down and going up. So there's no need for me to trade silver and gold because it's just a double trade. You can get double the wins, but you can get double the losses. So when I pick a silver, there's silver, gold, and platinum. I could probably show you them each, and then you see that they look similar. But what do we see here? You see that I'm on the daily, and this is the weekly. Okay? What do we notice on the weekly, y'all? You see the low here? Are you all able to see this?
Yep.
Okay. This is my RSI, which is also called the TDI, right here. See this black line right here? Coming out of this band? That's the low. That's how I knew to get into the silver trade. I hit silver on the low on the weekly. See, that's the double low. That's the double bottom. That's the stochastic low right here. And then you go to the daily, and if they coincide, you're doing good, because guess what? It did coincide. I got a daily low here. So really my entries should have been here to catch it earlier for a great entry, and then you're making money all the way up. But you see my entries here, and I've made money all the way up here, 2,000 pips. And I will most likely be in this trade for a year, because what's going to happen is this 2,000 going to turn into 20,000, and it might turn into 200,000 pips, because what I'm expecting is when you catch it on the weekly low, it's just going to keep going up from there. It doesn't usually violate the last low. And the reason why we can say that, let's see the last time we had the weekly low on silver. Do you see it here? In here? Do you see the lows here? Does everyone see that?
Yep.
Okay. So the weekly low, weekly low. If you caught that weekly low here, you made all this money going up here, which is crazy. And when I can tell you literally that if you got in silver here, which is on, and I did, and I cashed out. I cashed out from here to here. I got back in here, cashed out here, and then I got back into silver again. Okay. But check this out. If you got in silver here and it went all the way up here, notice that the new low did not violate the old low. So I'm not looking for any new low to violate this low, which means that I'm looking to be in this trade for a year. Why am I saying a year? Because if you got into this trade here, to this high, to this new low, you could still be in this trade. In this trade, this low happened. Let me give you the date. March 30th, 2025. So this is 1 year. You could be sitting in this trade, just making money. Every rise is you making money. And I can just tell you, if someone put $1,000 in this, just by the looks of it, this 1,000 would easily be $50,000. And we can do the math. We can do the math just by pips. So let's just say you got in here and you put your stop loss here at 5,000. Let's just call that 5,000 pips. Actually, it's not. Let's just be accurate. This is 3,000 pips. So 3,000 pips from your entry to your, let's just say you risked $1,000 there. Let's just see how many pips it is from here to here. And any multiple that would be of 3,000 is the multiple that you would apply to the $1,000 risk that you took. So let's just say you did $1,000 risk and your entries here and your stop loss is here, because you know that this is the low. Okay. That's 3,000 pips from your entry to your stop loss, which is the low here. Okay. Let's go to the high. Okay. Now let's take this all the way to this high. That is about 90,000 pips. 90,000. Yep. So that represents a 30x, y'all. So the $1,000 risk, this would be $30,000 that you made off of this one trade. I'm just talking about one trade. $1,000 risk, you'd have made $30,000 here. So this is a 30x, and you'd have made that in 1 year, doing nothing but just getting into this trade and just letting it ride out. So I'm into this trade. I'm going to let this ride out. So I'm looking to make a sizable amount of money from this because I caught it at the low. Okay, this is important for you all to realize. Let's look at the oil trade that I got into. We're at 7,000 pips with this. Came down. What happened? Do you see this low here on the daily? That's the low. So I know that we're in the low. And we don't expect it to violate this low. So it might do all this funky stuff, but it's coming off of the what you call the 50 EMA and bounce right back up. We expect this to just keep going up. So in my sleep, I'm making money off of this trade, and this is US oil on Forex. Okay, and it just goes on and on and on. There's just different ways to do this, but I'm just giving you my approach to this. I'm using first principles thinking. And I already showed you all the math that, so for instance, I'm just going to give you all the math. The typical lick that you get when you catch it on the daily or the weekly low is anywhere between 10 and 30x. I just showed you the 30x lick with this weekly low on silver. That's a 30x lick. So let's just do the math. Let's just say that you had 4 different things you were trading. Let's say you're trading silver, you're trading Bitcoin, you're trading Great British Pound, US dollar. That's just 4 things that you're trading, right? And imagine that you're risking $1,000 because all of them have the setup that you like, which is basically this little, what we call a shark fin low. Let's just say you risked $1,000 on each of them. Let's just do the math, y'all. Okay? And I'm gonna stop sharing the screen and look at y'all because I want y'all to understand the math of this. And it becomes very profound once you understand the math of this. Okay. Let's just say that you get 4 trades and you risk $1,000 on 4 trades. Okay. I need you all to listen to what I'm saying very carefully. You're risking $1,000 on 4 trades. Each of the trades has the upside of 20x because we're doing between 10 and 30x. So let's just compromise with 20x in the middle. That means that each of the trades represents $20,000 profit. Let's say you go from $1,000 to $20,000, which is $19,000. Let's just call it $20,000 profit, just to do the math. You make $20,000 off of one trade that you risked $1,000. You made $20,000 off of the second trade, which you risked $1,000. Now you have $40,000. The other 2 trades you lost. Let's just say it went down. So you lost $1,000 on one trade, and you lost $1,000 on the second. On the third trade, you lost $1,000. On the fourth trade, you lost $1,000. So now you've lost $2,000. But in total, you risked $4,000. Of that, you lost 2, but you came up 20,000 on 2 wins. So that's 40,000. Guess what? You risked 4,000, lost 2, but made 40. What does that represent in terms of return on investment? It represents a 10x return on investment. So that means that because you went from 4,000 to 40,000, you made 20,000 on 2 winning ones and lost. So it's a 20x. So what happened is 20x twice, lost the other 2. So it becomes a 10x in totality. So what am I saying here? That means that all you have to do in the way that I trade is to be right 50% of the time to make 10x on your money. I need people to understand that. They don't teach you this. They're not going to teach you this in Forex training school and all of that. You just got to be right 50% of the time. And because I buy low, so high based on first principles, I'm right more than 50% of the time. I'm right like 80, 85% of the time. So what I'm telling you all is that first principles thinking, more than anything, understand first principles thinking. Okay? First principles thinking allows you to outperform everyone else who's not using first principles thinking. I promise you this. Whether it is agriculture, whether it's health, this is why I'm able to get the health reversals that I get at Herbal Results. I use first principles thinking. Any illness, I just want to know, what are the toxic inputs? Whether you're taking some drugs that have some side effects, pharmaceutical drugs that may have side effects, and then what are the toxic foods that you're eating? So I need to know that first. Other words, because I know that health has to do with 2 things, toxic inputs and not enough nutritive inputs. And then we get rid of the toxic inputs and we add nutrition to you. And most of these illnesses go away. That's why we're able to get these types of results. But the same thing with health applies to wealth using first principles thinking. What do we need? Buy low, sell high, and we need predictability. And what gives us the biggest chance to win with predictability is the lack of volatility. What gives us the lack of volatility? The bigger time frames. That's it. I've just explained it to you all. And we're going to be seeing this week after week after week. Now, someone's asking about investing in Herbal Results. Sorry that we didn't get to that this week. Next week, we will talk about investing in Herbal Results. And if people, those who are interested, I have a whole investor page and I'm going to share it with you all. We've already done our first round. The first round is closed. We've already collected the money, and the investors who wanted their money back for the payment, they've received it. So we're moving to stage 2, which is another investment that will be open probably another month or two. The war stopped a lot of things because I needed to do some international travel to locate warehouses to start a manufacturing facility. But I didn't want to travel while, planes are being bombed in the sky. So I just didn't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all the Herbal Results website for those who are interested. Marie Beverly, who just asked, just go to herbalresults.net, go to the investors page. Okay. It spells everything out for the investors page. It gives you stage 1, which says closed, stage 2, which we're about to enter, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, which leads us into an IPO. Yes, Herbal Results will be doing an IPO sometime in the future. So the early investors will be able to make outsized money when the company goes public. Okay. But just go to the investor page on the navigation bar and you can read that, Marie, and I'll go over it in depth next week. I promise that that's what we will cover next week. But a lot of people were interested in the stocks, and I wanted to be able to share some of the X accounts for you all to follow. And I'll state those accounts again. That's Mike Investing. These are the X accounts you want to follow. Mike Investing. You all see that? Mike Investing. And
Yep.
The other person you want to follow is this guy here. Ask Livermore. Okay? That's who you should be following, not people who are online arguing about things that have no end. You want to follow people who are actually going to improve your life in a tangible way. You'll see his call outs here: QCOM, AMD, APLD, Circle. And it just goes down. So you can look at, these are the stocks that this person's taking a position on. And you all should pay attention to it. Okay. I'm giving you all the cheat code to what I do. So every morning I get updates from these people and I see what they're up to, and I confirm it on the charts and make sure that it fits my analysis. And then we go from there. But what I am able to do is I can bookmark all of these different posts and then take notes of the stocks and just literally wait like a hawk for the double bottoms to happen. That's all I'm doing. Once those double bottoms happen on the daily and the weekly, I jump in. It's just that easy. And this is how you make outsized money in the stock market. Okay. So I hope that this was helpful for you all. We've been on for about 2 hours now, but for those who really are into what I'm talking about, you're going to realize that you've gotten some serious gems today. I don't know if you all realize what you just learned today or what insight you might have gotten, but if you didn't understand what I was talking about, you will in the next month or two. And those of you who've already been trading, those of you who've been investing, this show, what I just showed you all, will give you all the wings to fly. And I've given you the names of the stocks, and we reviewed the stocks that we've been in for the last 3 months, 2 months, and you all see that they're all profitable. They're doing well, and everyone's making money. So hopefully this was helpful. And on Monday, we'll be back with health results. And I think we have another testimonial coming of a serious illness reversal. And so get ready for that. And they're going to tell their story. And I believe that person is in London. So they're going to call in and talk about how they reversed their serious disease with the Herbal Results protocol as well. Okay. So y'all just keep tuning in Mondays and Wednesdays. Here we are, man. We're showing you all practical ways to solve your problems in life. And you all are getting this for great value, man. I do this just because it's my way of giving back, and I couldn't just sit on this information myself. But you know, I'll look to, you know, answer the questions that people have. You hit me up on HeruTrades.com. Big up to all of my subscribers who pay either a weekly subscription or a monthly or yearly subscription. I've been getting a lot of messages. A lot of y'all making a lot of good money, particularly with the Intel pick that I gave. I can tell you all right now that one of the stock options I did for Intel, I cashed out early at 6x return, and I cashed out in mid-April. And that particular red pill, I looked at the option that I cashed out on. Do you know how much that option is worth now? I looked at it on Sunday. You know, once I close a position, I try not to look at it again. But on this Intel one, I looked at it. And if I stayed in, I would have 64x return on that Intel option. That means that if I did the option for $1,000, it would have become 64,000 as opposed to the 6,000 that I left with on that one option. It would have been 64,000. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it is what it is. And I have some of my the brother who called in last, his name is Isaiah. He called in last week, and his option made him 13x because he's still in it. And that's the pick that I gave. He's one of my subscribers, and that's a pick that I gave him as a subscriber in real time, and he hopped on it. He's made 13 times his money from the time that we talked. And I have another subscriber who sent me a screenshot. He was 13 times. But if you kept holding on to that same position, that 13x is now 65x. So I like to get out, you know, at 400% and then just rinse and repeat. But sometimes you can get out early and it goes up. But then the painful thing is when you get out too late. And, you know, you had 5x and now it went down to 2x, 1x, 30%, stuff like that. And I'm just going to tell you, most people who do options, they're happy to get out 10, 20% profit. And 10, 20% to me is like a disaster. I need 400% to be happy. So this is what's going on, y'all. So, yeah, I think it's Isaiah's on, Isaiah Harvin, 1K to 65K. Yeah, that's literally what that option is right now. If you put in $1,000, that particular Intel option that you got into, if you put in 1,000, it's now worth $65,000. And I did put 1,000 into that option, and I got out 6,000. So you know, sometimes you get out early, and that's what happens. But I like to secure my profit. You never lose when you make profit, you know. So that's what it is, man. Big up to you, Isaiah, one of my subscribers. Oh, he says he's still in it. Yeah, it expires in January, Isaiah. So I know you can still be in it. And you know, get your money whenever you need to get it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be hopping in some options probably today or tomorrow, some new ones. So those of you who are interested, you need to subscribe to HeruTrades.com and you get live push notifications whenever I make an options. What I'll be doing is I'll be analyzing all of those stocks from those two people on X and seeing where the bottoms are. And if any of them are at the bottoms, and then I'll be hopping in. Okay. Until I see a setup that I like, I don't trade because I don't like to miss. But yeah, big up to you, Isaiah. You're still in it, which means that you're probably around. You want to just tell what percentage do you have? Don't say how much money you have, Isaiah, but what percentage do you have on that Intel option right now? Like in terms of total percentage growth right now, what percentage? I'm just asking Isaiah if he can share that with us. And then we're going to sign off. Someone says I need to get in. Yeah, get in whenever you're ready. Looking for the next one. Great. And first introduction, appreciate it. Yeah, this will be a gem for you once you start to understand what's going on. And I put the links to all of the videos that will get you up to speed on my Facebook page, and it's on the YouTube page as well. Red Pill has put it up on the Know the Ledge page. Okay, Isaiah says he's up. Right now, he's up 1,200%. That's 13x. So he's 13x his money on that particular trade. And it went down this week. But I looked at it on Sunday and it was 65x. So, so he's at 13x right now. Who knows what happens? And I can look at the Intel chart on Forex to see what's going on with it. But, it's probably going to keep going up. But, Isaiah, cash out whenever you're ready, bro. I think it expires in January, so you got time. But you definitely want to cash out before 2 months of the expiration date, okay? So that would probably be November sometime you want to look at cashing out. Or, you can walk away with your money now and just look for another lick. Because the licks are happening all the time, all right? Yeah, he says a healthy retrace is what we needed for more growth. Yeah, that's fine. And literally, let me just look at the Intel chart real quick and I'll share. And then we'll leave because we've been on for a few hours now. And I think people have gotten a sizable amount of information that they can work with. But really, I gave y'all all right, here we are, Intel. I'll save it. Yep. So I'm going to share the screen for y'all on Intel. Someone asked what platform for the options? Robinhood. Okay, for Forex, I use Hugo's Way. So, all right, check this out. So now I'm going to share the Intel screen and y'all can look at it. All right, Intel. This is the weekly chart. So this week, Intel has gone down just like Isaiah is saying, but you see it's coming right back up. So I can go to daily to show it better. So here we are. We probably expect Intel to bounce off of this, what we call the mustard, which is the 5 EMA, and just go back up. So yeah, and you see it starting to go back up, where this red is probably going to become blue by the end of the day. Blue means it's rising, red means it's falling, and the line means is that it was down here, but then it just came up. We call that the wick. So it's going back up. So yeah, by probably Friday, it'll probably be up here somewhere, which will probably bring Isaiah back to 60x on his trade. So like I said, I got out around here when I got 5x, but all this growth happened. And it happens sometimes, man. It is what it is. All right. I just want to secure my profits on that trade, and I put that into other trades. All right. So that's what we got, y'all. That's what we got. So let's tune in next week. We'll be back.
Yes, sir.
For health results, and we'll be doing it in a way that prevents Red Pill's channel from getting taken away from him. And we'll give you all the instructions, okay?
Yes, we will. Thank you, family, for coming out and holding it down with us on this AM tapping in. We will see you later for WTF Wednesdays. Salute to everybody. And I hope and pray that you take this advice, this kinetic knowledge, and apply it. Okay.
All right, y'all. Peace.